Hello and welcome. You're watching News Tonight on Sabha TV. I'm Rajya. Let's have a look at the top headlines. 100% success of Aadhaar authentication not possible, admits UIDAI CEO to Supreme Court, explains alternative measures followed by to ensure that no citizen is denied social benefit for the lack of biometric authentication. BJP and Congress trade charges of manipulating Facebook data for political ends. Rahul Gandhi calls controversy an attempt to mislead people. Law Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad accuses him of evading reply on BJP's allegations. Government response to demand by armed forces removes 10,000 per month cap on educational assistance for the children of those killed or disabled in action. Rajya Sabha passes its first bill on the 14th day of the second half of budget session, approves payment of gratuity bill that benefits employees including women. Bill passed without discussion as all parties agree on its importance. And Congress to move privilege motion against External Affairs Minister on a statement informing Rajya Sabha about the death of Indians in Mosul. Proceedings disrupted as TDP, ADMK and Congress members shout slogans in the well of the House. A top story, the Supreme Court on Thursday allowed the CEO of the Unique Identification Authority of India to make a PowerPoint presentation on the Aadhaar scheme. UIDAI told the Supreme Court that it has no data on those who have been denied benefit for the want of the 12-digit biometric identification number. A 5-judge bench of Supreme Court, led by Chief Justice Deepak Mishra, pointed out that unaware and illiterate people could be left high and dry as over the time fingerprints fade away. UIDAI CEO Ajay Bhushan Pandey, however, said no person shall be denied of any benefit if there is any failure in the authentication due to lack of updation of data. He assured that Aadhaar provided a robust, lifetime, reusable, nationally online verifiable identity card to citizens and that UIDAI is blind and does not keep track of any transactions done by using Aadhaar card. The CEO also said that Aadhaar software is not linked to internet because they are wary of people hacking into system. The court is hearing a number of pleas challenging constitutional validity of Aadhaar and its enabling act. The BJP and Congress trade charges over Facebook data breach. While the BJP alleged the Congress used controversial data firm Cambridge Analytica to influence Gujarat Assembly polls, the Congress called it a diversionary tactic by the BJP. Other political parties have called for a probe into the allegations. The Facebook data breach case has triggered a political controversy in India, with the BJP accusing the Congress of having links with Cambridge Analytica, the company that is under scrutiny for misusing data to influence the US presidential elections. Union Law Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad alleged that Congress used the services of Cambridge Analytica during Gujarat elections.
First news item was published in Economic Times on the 9th of October 2017. Okay? More than 5 months ago, that Congress has got a Brahmastra. It was repeated in Sunday Standard web page on the next day. Again on 4th or 5th of November in Sunday Guardian. Congress party people don't use news. They could have denied it.
Responding to the charge, Congress President Rahul Gandhi claimed in a Twitter message that the government had invented a story about his party's links with Cambridge Analytica to divert attention from the deaths of 39 Indians in Mosul. The party also accused the BJP of having links with Cambridge Analytica.
This entire news conference, which has been done by the BJP and a very senior minister yesterday, has proven to be completely false. By the evening, the egg was on the face of the BJP. The Indian wing of Cambridge Analytica itself stated how it has supported the BJP in its major election campaigns in Mission 270.
Other political parties have also demanded a probe into the allegations.
It is not only one party, it is BJP, it is Congress, and also it is JDU. Several parties' names are mentioned. So if there are violations, there are violations of the law of the land, and government should take serious note of these revelations and to investigate.
Indian democracy is too robust. Indians voters are too mature. And therefore, I would only say, if any attempt is made to covert or overtly influence the electoral process, we'll take it seriously.
On Wednesday, Union IT and Law Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad warned Facebook chief Mark Zuckerberg of strict action against any attempt to influence India's electoral process by misusing data. At a press conference, he also accused the Congress of using Cambridge Analytica to influence the poll process. Bureau Report, Rajya TV. Now, amid the uproar over data breach from Facebook platform, its CEO Mark Zuckerberg on Thursday reportedly said they'll enhance its security features to ensure the integrity of upcoming key elections in countries like India. In an interview to New York Times, Zuckerberg referred to artificial intelligence tools deployed by Facebook to detect fake accounts trying to manipulate news and influence the elections. This is for the first time that Zuckerberg has publicly talked about Facebook being allegedly used for influencing polls. Meanwhile, Facebook is also tweaking its usage policy for third-party apps, including login process, to ensure that they have only limited access to user information. Zuckerberg had already admitted that his company made mistakes in handling data belonging to 50 million of its users and had apologized for the same. India on Wednesday warned Facebook of stringent action for any attempt to influence polls and even threatened to summon Zuckerberg if needed.
Not only for the 2018 midterms in the US, which are going to be a huge deal this year, and that's just a huge focus of us, but there's a big election in India this year, there's a big election in Brazil, there are big elections around the world, and you can bet that we are really committed to doing everything that we need to make sure that the integrity of those elections on Facebook is secured.
Well, the government on Thursday removed the cap of 10,000 rupee per month on educational assistance given to children of army personnel who are martyred, disabled or missing in action. The Finance Ministry said that concession will be admissible for undertaking studies in government or government-aided schools and educational institutes or those recognized by central or state governments. It also added that concession will also be applicable to students studying in autonomous institutes financed by either the centre or the state government. Employees in formal sector will soon be entitled to a gratuity of up to Rs 20 lakh. Ending almost 13 days of stalemate, temporarily, the Upper House unanimously passed the Payment of Gratuity Amendment Bill without discussion on Thursday. The Lok Sabha has already passed this significant bill.
Rajya Sabha on Thursday unanimously passed the Payment of Gratuity Amendment Bill. After over 12 days of disruptions in the House, all parties decided to give their approval to the bill after Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu urged them to take up the bill.
मेरा निवेदन है कि इसको बिना बहस के पास कर दे 10 सिविल पे कमीशन में 10 लाख के
When the chairman says something, please, Subramanian, please sit down. Subramanian, please sit down. Don't, this is not the way.
और महिलाओं के लिए जो
Discuss it there. This is not the way. Dr. KVP, please. KVP Ramchandra, please go back to your seat.
कि इसको बिना बहस के पास करने का
You have not met me earlier. They met me and requested me. I'll give you a chance. You sit down. You go to your place. I'll give you a chance.
Labour Minister Santosh Kumar Gangwar moved the bill for passage.
Payment of Gratuity Amendment Bill 2018 as passed by Lok Sabha be taken into consideration. Those in favour will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The motion is adopted.
It was taken up for voice vote on clause-by-clause amendments. Congress MP Subirami Reddy, who had earlier sought amendments, did not move them.
Move that amended bill as amended is be passed.
That the bill be passed.
Sir, the bill be passed, sir.
The amendment. Motion moved that the bill be passed. The question is that the bill be passed. Those in favour will please say aye. Aye. Those will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the bill is passed.
The bill makes formal sector workers eligible for tax-free gratuity up to 20 lakh rupees in line with the implementation of the 7th Central Pay Commission. Earlier, the formal sector workers were eligible for tax-free gratuity of 10 lakh rupees after leaving their job or at time of superannuation. The bill also seeks to allow the central government to notify the maternity leave period for female employees in place of 12 weeks. The proposal comes against the backdrop of the Maternity Benefit Amendment Act 2017, enhancing the maximum maternity leave period to 26 weeks. The Payment of Gratuity Act 1972 was enacted to provide for a scheme for the payment of gratuity to employees engaged in factories, mines, oil fields, plantations, ports, railway companies, shops or other establishments who have rendered a minimum 5 years of continuous service with any business that employs 10 or more persons.
The proposed legislation also empowers the government to notify ceiling so that the limits could be revised from time to time in accordance with revision of wages, inflation and future pay commissions without having to amend the Act again. The government is confident that the bill will hugely benefit the workers in the formal sector, especially the female workers. Reporting from Parliament with camera person Yogesh Agarwal, I'm Kriti Mishra for Rajya Sabha Television.
The Rajya proceedings were washed away on Thursday after the passage of Payment of Gratuity Amendment Bill as members disrupted House over several issues. Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu expressed deep anguish over repeating disruptions and said such scenes send a wrong message to the public. The government also reiterating that it was ready to discuss all issues raised by the opposition parties.
Honourable members,
after the passage of the Payment of Gratuity Bill, various members reverted to their protests that have been a feature for the last 14 days in the House. The issues of special category status to Andhra Pradesh and constitution of Kaveri Water Management Board formed the focus of disruptions in the House. The chairman apprised the House that a notice for discussion on atrocities against SC/ST communities had been received.
I have received some notices with regard to the Supreme Court judgment with regard to Scheduled Caste Scheduled Tribe from some of the honourable members. It is under my consideration. Once I come to a conclusion, then I will take the House into confidence.
The chairman also allowed TDP member CM Ramesh and AIADMK member V. Maitriyan to make brief submissions.
The Andhra Pradesh reorganization bill has been passed in this House. At the time of passing, they kept some provisions and some promises. Till now, it has not happened, sir. In this House only passed.
No, what is your session?
You are sitting there. You also requested special status for 10 years. Special status for 10 years. Government has on the day, Prime Minister told for 5 years.
What is your suggestion?
Sir, now this after 4 years, this exactly today, 4 years, 2 days happened.
Right.
Till now, it is not implemented. My request is to
we are
implement
willing
this
for a discussion.
Today is the water day. The theme is nature for water. Yes. But as far as people of Tamil Nadu, farmers of Tamil Nadu are concerned, the theme is Kaveri water for the farmers of Tamil Nadu. I appreciate the gesture of the central government to take into view the consideration of the employees, the laborers and the employees. I request the central government to show the same courtesy to the farmers of Tamil Nadu. On this water day, let them announce the farmers.
Thank you, Sri Santosh Kumar Gangwar.
The impasse persisted as the members of Congress, TDP and AIADMK walked into the well. The chairman tried to bring order in the House and urged the members to allow the House to function to take up the discussion on all crucial issues.
To tell the people that I don't want these ugly scenes to be seen by the people. That's why I'm adjourning. But today, people are saying that they want the House to run. Some people are saying they want the House to run. And some people are coming to the well. What can I do? Someday one party does it, someday other party does it, someday other party does it. What is happening to the system?
Minister of State for Parliamentary Affairs, Vijay Goyal, also assured the members that the government was ready to discuss all the issues. He also stressed that it was the collective responsibility of the government and the opposition parties to ensure the smooth functioning of the parliament.
जिस तरीके से आज ये बिल पास किया गया है, इसी तरीके से दूसरे बिल भी पास होने चाहिए। सरकार के पास बहुत सारा एजेंडा है और सबसे बड़ी बात क्या है कि सरकार जब हर विषय के ऊपर चर्चा करने के लिए तैयार।
Chairman Naidu urged the protesting members to return to their seats, and when the members did not relent, he adjourned the House till Friday.
I'm sorry, the House is adjourned to meet in 11 hours on Friday, 23rd March 2018.
The upper house passed the Payment of Gratuity Amendment Bill, but the semblance of normality was short-lived as disruptions stalled the proceedings of the House. the government is trying to ensure the passage of key bills like the OBC bill, the anti-triple talaq bill and the protection of whistleblowers bill in the Rajya Sabha. And now it is hoped that the deadlock is resolved soon. Reporting from Parliament with camera person Yogesh Agarwal, I'm Kriti Mishra for Rajya Sabha Television.
In Rajya Sabha, Chairman Naidu spoke on World Water Day and urged members to reduce waste, reuse and recycle water and support the conservation of freshwater resources.
The 22nd of March is World Water Day, a day celebrated every year to focus attention on the importance of water. This year, the day is dedicated to the theme Nature for Water, which accentuates the need for exploring nature-based solutions to overcome the water challenges being faced in the 21st century. The theme is relevant for our country where climatic change, population growth, and changing consumption patterns are contaminating our freshwater systems and depleting groundwater tables at an alarming trend. The day serves as a unique occasion to work together to protect our ecosystem and alter our lifestyles in accordance with the nature to preserve water. The day also focuses on advocating efficient water management and water sharing practices, reduce, reuse, recycle water for a livable planet. I hope the entire House will join me in supporting the conservation of fresh water resources through natural methods to ensure availability of sufficient potable water for our future generations.
Well, that was message by the chairman on 25th World Water Day. Moving on, Lok Sabha was also adjourned for the day amidst protest. As soon as the lower house began on Thursday, it witnessed protests and sloganeering. Within just 5 minutes, Lok Sabha was first adjourned till 12 noon. When the House resumed at noon, loud protests by ADMK and TDP MPs continued, even as MPs laid papers on the table. Parliamentary Minister Anantakumar requested all MPs to go back to their places and let the House function, adding the government was ready to talk on all the issues, including no confidence motion notices. Speaker Sumitra Mahajan requested members to let the House function, but to no avail. She then adjourned the House for the day. The Congress party has decided to move a privilege motion against External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj in Rajya Sabha on the issue of death of 39 Indians in Iraq's Mosul town. The Congress alleged that External Affairs Minister misled the House and families of deceased people for 4 years. The party also accused Centre of trying to suppress facts on the Mosul tragedy. Sushma Swaraj had confirmed the death of 39 Indians in Mosul in Rajya Sabha on Tuesday. She also made statement in Lok Sabha, but her speech could not be completed due to uproar in the House.
आपने 4 साल तक 39 परिवारों को एक जगह पर मुर्दा बनाकर रखा है. ना वो अपने जीवन को आगे चल सकते हैं, ना they can come to terms with the tragedy. You have brought the lives of the families of 39 people to a grinding halt.
The Aam Aadmi Party government in Delhi presented a Rs 53,000 crore budget for the fiscal year 2018-19. The government laid emphasis on environment, health and education sectors, while giving importance to green initiatives to reduce pollution and launching a scheme to ensure health insurance for all. The government also announced 1,000 electric buses, 1,000 ETC buses and 1,000 cluster buses. 905 buses will be added to metro feeder fleet. 50% discount on CNG car registration. 1,000 indoor display boards in government buildings to provide information on air pollution levels. Installation of more than 150 CCTV cameras in government schools, which will allow parents to see their children through the internet. Trees will be planted along the roadsides. Electric tandoor and electric generator will be given subsidy for promotion. The BJP, on the other hand, alleged the Delhi government is making an announcement under pressure of Supreme Court, but it has no intention of keeping the implementation on.
इस बजट में समाज के हर व्यक्ति के लिए हर व्यक्ति का ख्याल रखा गया है. हर समाज के तबके का की ज़रूरतों का ख्याल रखा गया है। इसमें गरीबों के लिए ख़ास तौर से बहुत कुछ है, महिलाओं के लिए, स्टूडेंट्स के लिए, मिडिल क्लास के लिए, व्यापारियों के लिए, पर्यावरण के लिए, सबके लिए इस बजट में ख्याल रखा गया है। अपनी तरह का ये देश में पहला ग्रीन बजट है, क्योंकि दिल्ली में पर्यावरण एक बहुत बड़ा मुद्दा रहा है, तो पर ये एक तरह से इसमें एम्फेसिस पर्यावरण को ज़्यादा दिया गया है।
The army paid tributes to 3 jawans who were martyred during encounter in Kupwara district of Jammu and Kashmir. In a show of solidarity, representatives from other security agencies also joined in paying their last respects. All 5 suspected Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorists were also killed in the 14-hour-long Kupwara encounter. The encounter broke out in the Halmatpura area, which is 8 km from the line of control, after a police party intercepted a group of militants. A joint team of Kupwara police, along with the companies of Army, the Territorial Army and the CRPF, were engaged in the operation, which began Tuesday morning. The fierce gun battle also claimed lives of 2 policemen. A remotely piloted aircraft of Indian Navy today crashed at Ulhasnagar area of Gujarat's Port Bandar soon after taking off. The RPV crashed close to airbase in open area of ice factory. The unmanned aerial vehicle was going for a routine surveillance exercise when it crashed shortly after takeoff. Firefighters were called as soon as the aircraft caught fire. The crash, however, did not cause any injury or damage to property on the ground. A CBI special court on Thursday granted bail to former Himachal Pradesh Chief Minister Veerbhadra Singh, his wife and others related in a money laundering case. However, the court granted them bail considering they were not arrested by the ED during investigation. The court also directed them to furnish a bail bond of Rs 50,000 each along with surety of the same amount. Earlier, the ED had filed its first charge sheet against Life Insurance Corporation agent Anand Chauhan, accusing him of investing Veerbhadra Singh's LIC policies purchased in his name and those of his family members, including his wife. Delhi's Patiala House Court has fixed 25th April as next date of scrutiny of the documents. German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier arrived in New Delhi on Thursday on a 5-day India visit. Later, the German President visited Varanasi. He will hold meetings with President Ramnath Kovind and Prime Minister Modi on Saturday. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj will also call upon the visiting dignitary. The German President is also scheduled to attend business event in New Delhi and visit to Chennai. Germany is India's largest trading partner in Europe and 6th largest trading partner in the world. The Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has said that Mahatma Gandhi's idea of Ram Rajya is incomplete without development of villages. Speaking at the inaugural celebrations of Bihar Divas in Patna, the Vice President said it's important to pay special attention to the upliftment of rural India, as most of our population lives in the villages. The Vice President also said Bihar has a glorious history and that he was extremely impressed with the ideology of Lok Nayak Jayaprakash Narayan. The event marks the completion of 100 years of Champaran Satyagraha. Vice President Naidu said Champaran has special place in history as Satyagraha originated from there. In an attempt to ease tension between India and China, representatives of 2 countries will held talks in Delhi on Thursday. The talks centered around managing tension on the border. Both sides also agreed to create understanding between defense forces through regular visits and institutionalized talks. This was the 11th round of working mechanism on consultation and coordination for India and China border affairs, in which officials of foreign ministries of both countries took part. The mechanism was established in the year 2012 for consultation and coordination for the maintenance of peace and tranquility in Indo-China border areas. India on Thursday welcomed the end of emergency in Maldives, even as it cautioned that several concerns expressed by international community remains to be addressed. External Affairs Ministry also called upon the government of Maldives to ensure credible restoration of political process as well as the rule of law. Maldivian President Abdullah Yameen today lifted 45-day state of emergency on the advice of security services to promote normalcy in the country. Now, India on Thursday successfully test-fired BrahMos supersonic cruise missile with the indigenous seeker at Pokhran test range in Rajasthan. Defence Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said the missile hit target with pinpoint accuracy and success will further bolster India's national security. The test firing comes 3 months after BrahMos cruise missile was successfully test-fired for the first time from Indian Air Force frontline Sukhoi 30 MKI combat jet. BrahMos is a joint venture between India and Russia and its range can be extended up to 400 km as certain technical restrictions were lifted after India became full member of Missile Technology Control Regime last year. The missile is also the heaviest weapon to be deployed on Su-30 fighter aircraft. That's it for now on Rajya TV. Keep watching for more. Thank you and good night.